In recent days, affected by Typhoon Trami and a cold air mass, most of Hainan Island, China, has experienced heavy to torrential rain, with some areas seeing localized severe rainfall. The opening of a local reservoir to release floodwaters led to the flooding of the Jiaji Dam on the Wangquan River. Large areas of farmland and houses in 7 downstream counties and cities were submerged, and some villages and towns lost contact. The number of casualties is yet to be confirmed. Due to Typhoon Trami's outer circulation, Hainan Island has faced heavy rains in recent days, with almost half of the island submerged in water. Traffic in Shanghai City was halted, and many villages were inundated. Villagers climbed onto rooftops to avoid the flooding and waited for rescue. Once bustling streets are now waterlogged and chaotic. Shanghai has been severely flooded following the heavy rains brought by the typhoon, and the Jiaji Dam on the Wangquan River has overflowed. Traffic has come to a standstill, with even the first floors of buildings submerged. Villagers sought refuge on rooftops without food or water, and some villages were cut off. My classmates, who were reachable last night, cannot be contacted today. Only helicopter rescues are possible. Hospitals resemble water curtain caves, with some people standing in water up to their shoulders, waiting for rescue. The water level continues to rise, and 3 people have lost their lives. Hainan is really facing a tough year. According to statistics from the China Meteorological Department, from 8 o'clock on October 28th to 1600 hours on October 30th, rainfall in 7 towns of Shanghai exceeded 500 millimeters. The highest recorded rainfall occurred in the Niululing Reservoir area of Xi'an, reaching an astonishing 1,067.9 millimeters, with some areas surpassing 1,000 millimeters. This prolonged and intense rainfall resulted in severe flooding in Shanghai's main urban area, as well as in the low-lying roads across various towns. In a video, a resident said, "Family, look at the flood here. I'm on the 2nd floor, and this is the balcony. The water is flooding Jinshan. Oh, the water is too high. This is intense. Let's go fishing." All highways in the local urban area were submerged and impassable. 13 towns, districts, in Shanghai City were affected to varying degrees, with 7 towns along the Wangquan River hit hardest by the flood, leaving 183 villages in these towns underwater. Shibi and Longjiang towns were among the most severely impacted. Continuous rainfall disrupted communication and power supply systems, causing a temporary blackout. A total of 42 power lines were interrupted, and 22 roads were blocked. One resident said, "When I woke up, most of Shanghai's urban area was flooded. In the morning, I found that all the roads near my home were underwater, so I had to go back. The roads throughout the village were flooded waist-high, and areas outside the village were entirely submerged. Last time it was a typhoon. This time, it's a flood." The heavy rains from this typhoon have flooded many areas in Shanghai, including our village. Due to several days of heavy rain, the water level continued to rise. As of 2 a.m. on October 30th, 2024, among the 83 large and medium-sized reservoirs in Hainan province, water levels in 3 large and 8 medium-sized reservoirs exceeded the flood limit. The Niululing and Hongling reservoirs upstream on the Wangquan River released floodwaters, causing the river's water level to exceed the warning line by 2 meters. Low-lying areas were entirely submerged, and vehicles were stranded, leaving residents severely impacted. This led to frustration among netizens who questioned, couldn't the water be released in sections earlier? Some people could only watch helplessly as others were swept away by the flood. Quick, where are they? They went down, they're gone, it's over. Aerial footage shows the Jiaji Dam on the Wangquan River in Shanghai City submerged, with river levels almost level with adjacent roads. Many houses are waterlogged, and entire towns in Shanghai have roofs of rural houses submerged, with extensive farmland and homes underwater due to flood discharges. Despite the destruction, the local government issued another notice stating that Songtao Reservoir, the largest in Hainan, would continue releasing floodwaters. Wow, Songtao Reservoir is releasing floodwaters. My shop is on Binjiang Road, with the Nandu River across from us. Yesterday, Niululing Reservoir released floodwaters, flooding all of Qionghai. Songtao Reservoir is downstream, and by 3 p.m. we're expecting the flood peak to reach the Nandu River opposite my shop. This flood has caused significant damage to farmers along the Nandu River. The water level has risen, and the vegetable fields along the riverbanks have been flooded once again. Farmers are really in a difficult situation. If you don't visit the scene, you really can't understand the farmers. Watching their crops get flooded by the typhoon, they feel helpless and heartbroken. If the rain continues, the seedlings planted in the fields will definitely be lost. Hainan is in a tough situation, and the flood brought by Typhoon Trami arrived so quickly that people were caught off guard. The young shoots, full of the farmers' hard work and hopes, sway helplessly in the water, struggling in the muddy flood. Hainan's agriculture in 2024 has taken another heavy blow. Agriculture is hard, rural life is hard, and farmers' lives are hard. In the early hours of October 30th, 2024, the Ministry of Water Resources of the Communist Party of China launched a Level 4 flood emergency response for Hainan Province, stating that due to Typhoon Trami, the province has experienced continuous heavy rainfall since October 28th. 16 rivers, including the Nandu River, Wanquan River, Lingshui River, Wenjiao River, and Juk River, have all risen above warning levels. The upstream main course of the Wanquan River, Huishan section, and the Xinwu River, a tributary of the Nandu River, have experienced flooding above the protection level. The Niululing and Hongling reservoirs in the upper reaches of the Wanquan River continue to operate at high water levels. However, on that day, officials did not specifically report the full extent of the large-scale floods in Hainan. In addition to Qionghai, Sanya City in Hainan has also been severely affected by heavy rains in recent days. Starting on October 28, 2024, strong winds and rainstorms struck Sanya City. Wind speeds exceeded level 6, and waves repeatedly crashed against the coast, forcing beachgoers to evacuate. Sanya City subsequently issued a red warning for heavy rain. The 10-hour downpour flooded multiple areas in the city. The intensity of this rain was truly alarming. The sky seemed to have cracked open, and the rain poured down like a waterfall, non-stop. From October 27th to 28th, influenced by the typhoon, this rainstorm was undoubtedly the most intense and severe I have ever seen in Sanya. It not only made travel difficult, but also disrupted the entire city's functioning. Streets turned into rivers, and some cars driving through the water broke down mid-road, blocking traffic and creating long lines of vehicles. Numerous electric scooters were soaked, and tram services were temporarily suspended. People trudged through the water. On the same day, primary and secondary schools and kindergartens announced the suspension of classes, and some scenic spots were closed. What you're seeing now is a video of urban flooding in Sanya, Hainan, caused by Typhoon Trami. According to 24-hour rainfall monitoring by the Central Meteorological Observatory, Sanya recorded 295.6 millimeters of rainfall in the past 24 hours. This heavy rain caused severe waterlogging in Sanya, disrupting road traffic and hindering travel for residents. The city's primary and secondary schools were closed, some tourist spots temporarily shut down, and public venues were suspended. Continuous heavy rains also triggered landslides in some areas. On October 30th, 2024, a landslide occurred in Cheongjeongli and Miao Autonomous County, Hainan Province. Officials reported that the incident resulted in 3 deaths and 4 injuries. Just a month earlier, Typhoon Mekar had already inflicted heavy losses on Hainan's economy. According to official Hainan statistics, Typhoon Mekar, which made landfall in Hainan on September 6th, caused nearly 80 billion yuan in direct economic losses across Haikou, Wenchang, Chiang Mai, and Linggao. The extent of economic losses and casualties from this rainstorm disaster remains unknown. The Three Gorges Dam, a survival threat for the people of China.
Urgent flood discharge measures are being taken to save the Three Gorges Dam. Floods in southern China have hit various provinces one after another. After the Dongting Lake incident in Hainan, pressure has been mounting on the Three Gorges Dam. Heavy rainstorms have battered Chongqing and Dazhou, Sichuan, China for days, causing floods in 15 rivers, including the Jialing River. Rivers have risen and towns have been inundated. The Yangtze River has experienced its second peak this year. Rainfall in Chongqing's Zhang County exceeded 254 millimeters in 9 hours, setting a record high since local meteorological records began. Water levels as deep as 2 meters caused landslides that killed at least 6 people. The Three Gorges Dam, which is the biggest fear of the people, has also begun releasing floodwaters. The water level of the Three Gorges Reservoir is more than 15 meters higher than the same period last year, setting a new high. The Three Gorges Dam initially opened 3 sluice gates, then a 4th sluice gate was opened. Up to 9 sluice gates are currently open to manage flooding upstream. Chinese media, the South China Morning Post, reported that the Three Gorges Dam is on flood alert as rain hits the major city of Chongqing. International media also reported that the Three Gorges Dam is on alert as heavy rain and flooding have killed 6 people in China. Many videos have appeared on various platforms showing that a large dam along the Three Gorges Dam has broken, causing flooding in Chongqing and submerging the entire area. Furthermore, heavy rain in recent days has caused severe flooding in central and southern China. Local people are severely affected as we enter a critical flood control period. Flooding is likely to occur in all 7 major river basins in China. 31 rivers in Anhui, Hainan, Yunnan, Sichuan, Chongqing, Hubei, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Jilin, and other places have suffered floods above the warning level. At present, the 3 provinces of Anhui, Jiangxi, and Hunan have entered a Level 3 flood control emergency response. 5 provinces and cities, Heilongjiang, Jiangsu, Hubei, Chongqing, and Sichuan, have entered a Level 4 flood emergency response. The rain continues to pour, and the pressure on a series of dam systems is stronger than ever. Under the pressure of water, either the dams break or are forced to release floodwaters to save the dams. Large and small dams are releasing water, and billions of cubic meters of water are being released. We can easily imagine how severe the floods will be and how great the damage will be, right? The serious flood problem in China shows no signs of abating and seems to worsen each year. The damage caused each year is always higher than the previous year. This suggests that China's dam system is not really effective in dealing with floods. Now, the ongoing rain and flood situation continues to increase pressure on the Three Gorges Dam, which has been continuously warned. Experts at home and abroad have begun to discuss the fate of this dam. Some people say that the media has been talking about the Three Gorges Dam breaking for many years, but it is not broken yet. Technically, the Three Gorges Dam is a gravity dam. This type of dam stability mainly depends on its own weight to resist the water pressure behind it. The Three Gorges Dam is built of reinforced concrete, about 185 meters high and about 2.3 kilometers long, with a giant reservoir capacity of 39.3 billion m. The characteristic of a gravity dam is that the weight of the dam helps it stand firm against the buoyancy of the water. Gravity dams are often triangular in shape with a wide base to increase stability and resist water pressure. Thanks to their large weight and geometric design, gravity dams are very stable and can resist the forces of strong water currents. This type of dam is highly durable and less susceptible to damage over time. The Three Gorges Dam is a classic example of a gravity dam, which uses its own weight to counteract the pressure of water. There is a reason why China has not broken the dam over the years, despite the many floods. Can the Three Gorges Dam be broken? Military experts say that it can be easily destroyed by blowing up the Three Gorges Dam. In fact, the dam is not something that can be blown up easily. Why do they say that? There are 3 main factors. First, the Three Gorges Dam is so powerful that only earthquakes of magnitude 10 or higher can cause significant damage to it. To actually destroy the Three Gorges Dam, one would have to use 66 little boy nuclear bombs, a fission bomb that uses uranium-235, and all of them would have to attack at the same time, which is very difficult. Second, China's air defense system is also very strong. Not only are anti-aircraft missiles deployed along the border and air defense positions around the Three Gorges Dam, but there are also 12 divisions stationed along the perimeter of the dam. Hundreds of anti-aircraft missiles and countless radar bases are always on standby, and fighter jets patrol the skies 24 hours a day. Any unidentified flying object that enters the area will be shot down without mercy. The last and most important factor is that China has the Dongfeng 41 intercontinental ballistic missile, which is extremely accurate and crucial to the mission of protecting the dam. It has the ability to bomb quickly and accurately across the globe, and once someone starts attacking, they will certainly be an unmissable target. These factors have led many to believe that the dam is indestructible by military means. So how can the dam fail? It is a natural disaster. Although the Three Gorges Dam was designed to control floods, heavy rains and unusual floods can put enormous pressure on the dam. Not to mention that the area around the Three Gorges Dam is seismically active, and strong earthquakes can cause serious damage to the dam structure. Another factor is that the Three Gorges Dam blocks alluvium from upstream, causing accumulation in the reservoir. If floods and landslides occur, the reservoir cannot support the large amount of rock and soil that flows in. The water in the reservoir must continue to be retained and cannot escape so that the strong current can wash away the rock and soil from the reservoir area. The Three Gorges Dam was completed in 2009, and over a long period of time with continuous flooding in recent years, cracks and damage are also present and spreading. Although there are measures to fix it, it is only temporary and cannot prevent the flood from rising more and more along with the amount of rock and soil stagnating in the reservoir. It is not impossible that there is no way to control the Three Gorges Dam situation anymore. Major floods and landslides can destroy the dam or cause it to fail. Once that happens, the consequences will be extremely serious. China's project of the century may be completely destroyed. The entire central and South China region will be severely affected. Many localities downstream of the Yangtze River, such as Chongqing, Wuhan, and many other cities, will be submerged in water. Millions of people will be directly and indirectly affected. Hundreds of thousands of people will die, and millions of people will be displaced. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an extremely painful scene and no one wants it to happen. China will face an unprecedented disaster in its history. Chinese media have been reporting on the continued discharge of water from the Three Gorges Reservoir in China over the past few days. The news agencies only published images, but did not provide specific details on the current water level and the reservoir's capacity to withstand it. When the water level in a reservoir exceeds the safety threshold, water discharge becomes necessary to prevent the risk of dam overflow, ensuring the safety of the dam structure and surrounding areas. Water discharge helps maintain flow control and reduce pressure on the dam, avoiding dangerous overload. It is often carried out during heavy rainfall or prolonged storms, causing the water level in the reservoir to increase rapidly. Water discharge can signal a flood forecast in downstream areas, prompting the implementation of timely preventive measures to minimize damage. Continued discharge from the Three Gorges Dam has caused severe flooding in downstream areas, inundating houses and infrastructure, and causing heavy loss of life and property. Floods have inundated large areas of farmland, damaging crops and causing significant harm to the agricultural sector. The record-breaking, devastating rains have put China's Three Gorges Dam under significant strain and on high alert. Authorities are scrambling to contain the flooding by opening more sluice gates, but nature's wrath is not over yet. Weather satellite data shows that in the wake of Typhoon Praparun, a Category 4 storm called Kemi is rapidly intensifying over the Pacific Ocean. Particularly heavy rain bands are swirling inward into a dense eye wall. The storm, which is moving at 220 kilometers per hour, is expected to make landfall in southeastern China this week after passing Taiwan, raising concerns that its remnants will spill upstream of the dam and worsen the flooding situation. Typhoon Kemi approaches the coast of Fujian. More than 10 provinces in China will be affected. After hitting Taiwan, Typhoon Kemi approached the coast of Fujian, China, on the 25th. China's meteorological authorities estimate that Typhoon Kemi will move towards Jiangxi province after landing in Fujian, and some areas of Jiangxi will experience heavy rain or even very heavy rain. Additionally, the water level of Poying Lake is still above the warning line, attracting attention to the flood control situation. Large-scale heavy rain will affect more than 10 provinces in China. The Three Gorges Dam can be considered the pride, symbol of power, and also the Achilles' heel of China. Flood developments are constantly putting pressure on this dam. Let's wait and see what its fate will be in the following days. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next videos. Have a nice day and see you again.